So let's move. What do you think? Before I do go further, what do you think? Do you think he's going to lose all his money? Is he going to be bankrupt? Is this another one of their tricks, or is this a legit, uh, thing of concern? If it's going to impact rich people, it will impact many poor people as well, because poor people are the ones who are employed by these rich companies. Okay, let's go on to coronavirus. And first, I'll divide the coronavirus segment into global and focus on China, and then how it impacts the UAE. So I'll give you just a summary. I'll not go into detail on this. The first one is this fake news that has been circulating, which is a shocking video. The title was "Shocking Video Shows Crows Eating Dead Bodies Lying on the Streets of China." Now, even though at that time I didn't see the video, I knew for a fact it was fake. I'll tell you why. Number one is, even if crows were eating the flesh of dead people in China, China would not allow such a video to be circulated. And if it did, the person who circulated such a video would be shot dead or jailed for life. So nobody would take the risk of sharing such a video. That's number one. Number two, when you have a virus, when you have a pandemic, when you have a disease, and it's destroying the country, they would do everything possible to keep things clean, or let's say cremate the bodies, or at least destroy anything that is rotting or bad. Or so having such a theory that, oh, there are dead bodies rotting in the streets in a public place, and crows are eating, and nobody's doing anything other than people taking videos, I knew it immediately. This would be fake. So I just checked Daily Star and IBN Times, and I just saw crows flying. Just crows are flying. So crows are flying. So what is it supposed to mean? The problem is these news outlets, online news outlets, they want people to click so that they can get ad money, or they can get, they can show that so much of traffic has come to our website and get sponsors or get people to advertise on their websites. So I just find this a very sad, pathetic way of doing things, and you can't help it. This is the reality of how things go online. So please, anytime somebody gives you a shocking update, use a little bit of common sense. Okay. Then we have on 1st February 2020, China news, outbreak of bird flu. You had CNBC, you had Bloomberg, you had CCN.com, not CNN, CCN. Then you had Thai Medical News, then you have One News, you have Business Insider. So long story short, China has reported an outbreak of deadly flu, the avian influenza, a highly pathogenic strain of H5N1 bird flu in Hunan province. So out of 18,000 birds, 18,000 chickens, 4,500 were killed. Now, in case you are panicking, relax, because H5N1, which though can be transmitted to human beings, it's very rarely seen in human beings. And what do I think about this? I'm glad that all these problems and issues are coming out from China, because now China is going to up its game. It's going to tighten its belt. It's going to take things, especially when matters of health is concerned, very seriously, not for anything else, but for the very simple fact it's destroying the country and destroying the economy. So money is very important to any country, if not human life. Okay, so it can destroy governments, it can destroy leadership. So they're going to take it very seriously, and I'm very glad that all these problems are coming out now, because they will change. Because they know if they don't change, we are just going to get eliminated. As it is now, almost everyone in the world is scared of anyone from China. They just want to keep away from China. And China has no other choice but to quarantine itself. So they're going to, I can tell you one thing for a fact. They are going to ensure that such a thing never happens again. They're going to take the strictest measures. They're going to ensure that the world's best rules, regulations with regards to health is administered. And, I just look at it as, what you sow, you shall reap. If I stay let's say I don't clean my house, I stay with disease and germs, and I stay in a very unhygienic environment. Obviously, I'll be sick. And that's a price I have to pay. So China is paying the price for not paying attention to keeping its own standards of health high. And, you see so many of these videos: eating a bat, eating a live snake, eating a live frog, drinking blood, all these things. They keep sharing these videos, eating. The one that really angers me is where they kill dogs in the most horrific manner. They literally, put dogs alive in boiling hot water and kill them. And some of them really you can't watch. So, well, many people are glad that these people are suffering. There's one side of me that that really gets angry, and I wish these people on this video, especially specifically these people who are doing such horrific stuff, that they should suffer. But on the other hand, I think of all those children and all those people who are innocent, who have not done anything bad. I mean, it's like we are just putting all of them into one single category. So one side, I'm kind of like, yes, you deserve it for all the, you watch a guy take a frog, live frog, bite its head and rip its head off with the flesh and intestine and blood hanging, and he's laughing on camera. I don't think you'd feel very sorry for a guy like that. Or a cute little dog. The guy, he's taking a blowtorch and the dog is alive. He's kind of heating the skin, and the skin is melting off, and the dog is howling in pain and crying. You wouldn't feel sorry for such an individual. So people like this, I have no sympathy. But for the innocent, millions of other innocent people, like children, like people who have not done anything bad, watching them suffer, it's like I look at my own wife, I look at my own little baby, and I think that I wouldn't want them to suffer. So it's drawn to two sides. So I would say that let's not treat all Chinese in the same way. Um, let's not be racist. Let's not hate them. But at the same time, let's hope, okay, even though I don't believe much in hope, let's hope that the Chinese government takes stricter rules towards how they treat animals, how they, and this glorification of literally eating a live rat, eating it, biting it, and it's alive and it's moving, or a squid or a fish, it's alive, it's breathing, and you're chewing the flesh of an animal and showing it on camera to show off. I'm sorry, but I don't feel sad for such individuals when they suffer. So these are my thoughts. You can let me know what you think. Okay. The impact of coronavirus is also felt globally. You have Hong Kong's reaction, which is destroying Hong Kong. I had a guy from Hong Kong who just spoke to me. He told me that it's really impacting the market. So the news is pretty real. Many supermarket shelves are empty. The airport is literally, nobody wants to be there. Nobody wants to come in. I remember I told you when these youngsters were making these protests and they're destroying property, and there was, they were completely, making sure Hong Kong got to a standstill. And I told you that they would regret this. Now look at the fact, look at the fun. Before, you had all the youth coming out on the streets and blocking traffic, blocking business, damaging property, and nothing was moving. And they were like, yes, we will die, but we'll ensure that, this doesn't happen or that doesn't happen. Now, who is making protests? Who is damaging property? Who is doing what? Eh, People are going to be without jobs. They're not going to have any money. And when you don't have money, when you don't have funds, when your means of surviving is impacted, you don't have time to do all this bullshit. Hong Kong, which was supposed to be the most stable country, which was like, oh wow, people used to like, take Hong Kong as an example of success. It's destroyed. It's completely destroyed. According to me, I would say at least 50% of the businesses are going to close down. Many people are going to suffer losses. And like I always tell you, the people who will be impacted the most will be the middle class. They are going to be destroyed. So it's to be seen how long does this coronavirus impact Hong Kong. Because, why do I say 50% of the, Hong Kong population? February 8th, 2020, you have all these news outlets that have reported. Cathay Pacific has said 27,000 of its workforce, imagine 27,000, will be asked to take 3 weeks leave to a month without salary. And some of them will extend even further. There'll be many layoffs from March to June because of the crisis. Then Cathay Pacific has also cancelled 50% of its flights. They have cancelled around 783 flights per week and 835 per week in March. So they'll reduce 30% of global operations and cutting down of 90% of its mainland flights. That is to China. Hong Kong Airlines has cut 400 jobs and asked the remaining staff to take unpaid leave. Taiwan's China Airlines will just operate from, before it was 18 flights every day. Now it's just 2 flights until March, the end of March. EVA Air will switch from 11 flights a day to just 4 flights for the rest of the month. Then you have China Southern, China Eastern, Henai Airlines, and all of the airlines in China. They have asked pilots to go on unpaid leave. They have asked their staff to be on unpaid leave. And many of them are descaling their operations to less than 60%. So I can assure you that it's going to impact a lot of people in Hong Kong, Singapore, and it's going to have a domino effect across the globe. Then you have this worthwhile article, which I thought you must read. Why is China the epicenter for all these viruses? Why is China so susceptible to disease outbreaks? The answer is the way it handles its food supply. Now, before you start slamming China and saying that it is not clean or whatever, here are some stats for you to think about. 2019, China ranked 51st out of 195 countries in the Global Health Security Index. So the lower you are, the worse you are. So if China is 51st, well, you'll be surprised to know India ranks 57th, that is after China. Pakistan ranks 105. Bangladesh ranks 113. So before you point fingers at China, well, guess what? India, Pakistan, Bangladesh are even more worse. Okay. However, in terms of the diseases that have actually impacted the country, you have SARS, which emerged from an animal market in Guangzhou in 2002. China suffered African swine fever in 2018, and they killed around 40% of the pigs. China also has bird flu. For this, they had to kill 18,000 chickens. And now, once again, they're having this bird flu, which is coming in the H591, H591, whatever. H5N1, H5N1. They also have scandals with regards to milk powder, which was fake. They put some chemical, fake seaweed, fraudulent fake shrimp. So I think China, because of all the negative press that it's getting, they're going to seriously look into changing the way they're handling the food supply. Because if they don't, I think China is going to be ostracized as a cursed nation.